We will get to Amari Cooper's monster game in a second, but first, check this out. DeMarcus Lawrence brushing off the offensive tackle, bats the ball, and comes up with the pick.
See, I thought this was amazing athleticism. You thought this was great football IQ. He read the play.
Read the offensive lineman's technique. When you go for a chop block, he knows it's going to be quick game. In the quick game, there's only a couple routes that they can throw. Quick slant or a stop outside. He read it. Quick slant, batted it up, because they say hands down first to block the cut block, then hands up to deflect the pass.
That's what I always say. Bat, bat. College hoops, Texas senior Cohen Roach with a monster dunk in the upset over North Carolina.
How many times I got to tell you, Jenna, ain't no upset? When you got the best coach in America and the best looking coach in America, like Texas has Shaka Smart, no game's an upset. They should win every time.
Apparently one more
Good win,
time.
Texas.
I was just telling
that,
the kids, we have some kids live audience, be smart.
Yeah, that's
like Shaka Smart.
Or, yeah, the kids at Chapel Hill, too. What happened
Finally,
here?
EuroLeague basketball. Not sure this is how they drew it up, but, well, it counts off the noggin.
Jenna, you always ask when we have these staff basketball games if you can come.
Yeah.
If you'll be the power forward in this video, you're invited next time.
The person that gets the ball hit off the head.
Right off the dome.
I'm a little better than you think I am.
Yeah,
but
why are you going to get her hit in the head? She's the best athlete that we got on the staff besides myself.
But
now, why she got to play the dummy role when she's the second best athlete? Tell me that. Draw a blank on that one.
She ain't playing that role.
Boom.
Boom.
Eat one of them hammers right there.
Time for drawing a blank.
Gonna bloody your nose. That means gonna be a lot of blood.
Lots of good football yesterday while we were stuffing our faces. You got 3 games to choose from. CC, the best offensive performance yesterday was blank.
I got to go with Amari Cooper. Nick, you mentioned earlier how at critical times in the games these plays were made, but for him to be able to get his confidence back, you can't play an 8-man box against the Dallas Cowboys because Amari Cooper will run off with it. I'm looking for him to build on that the rest of the season.
Amari Cooper's the right answer. 8 for $180, 120 of those yards after the catch. 2 game-changing, playoff-changing touchdowns. Amari Cooper was the best offensive player in any of the 6 teams that played yesterday.
All right, let's flip to the other side of the ball. Yesterday, there were 21 sacks, 11 takeaways, even a defensive touchdown. But Nick, pick one guy. The best defensive performance on Thanksgiving was by blank.
The guy whose play swung the football game, the first football game, Eddie Jackson. The pick 6 in a tie game. This is Eddie Jackson in just year 2, his 5th defensive touchdown, his 3rd defensive touchdown for the Bears in the last month. He has been a star player his first 28 NFL games. Eddie Jackson is my answer.
I'm going to go with Cam Jordan, the defensive end extraordinaire for New Orleans. When you're looking at these teams who have these elite offenses, being the Rams, Chiefs, and the Saints, you need to be able to pick out some of these defensive stars in last night's game, getting to the quarterback a couple of times, all up and down, sideline to sideline, plays with a high motor there, one of the emotional leaders of that Saints defense that's making a lot of plays.
You know what all 3 of those teams have in common? Their best defensive players are pass rushers. It's Cam Jordan, it's Aaron Donald, it's Dee Ford or Justin Houston in Kansas City. Not necessarily on the back end, but very strong on the front end.
All right, time to look forward to Sunday now. The Panthers host the Seahawks in a matchup that'll have major impact on the NFC wildcard picture. CC, the X factor in the Seahawks-Panthers game will be blank.
Anytime you're going to pick a game, CC going to look at the wide receivers. I'm looking at DJ Moore, the rookie there. They have a lot of faith that he's ultimately going to be a top flight receiver, a #1 receiver for them. And also because they got injuries. Torrey Smith's been out, lack of productivity on the other side, and Devin Funchess don't know if he's going to be able to make it in the game. So DJ Moore, it's time to grow up.
I'm going with the guy that's the reason the Panthers lost last week, Graham Gano. Missed an extra point, missed his first field goal of the year, which was the length of an extra point. I think that's the main reason. At the end of the game, they went for 2 instead of kicking the extra point. Graham Gano's been excellent for them this year. Hit a 60-yarder to win a game. You can bounce back from one bad game. But as a kicker, when you're on a potential playoff team, you have 2 bad games in a row, you could be out of work. So Graham Gano, an X factor in what I expect to be a very close football game.
All right, Sunday night, the Vikings and the Packers will meet for the 2nd time this year. Both teams needing a win this time around after their Week 2 meeting finished in a 29-29 tie. Nick, the X factor in the Packers-Viking game will be blank.
Well, we know Aaron Rodgers can't be an X factor because he is the factor. So the X factor is going to be Aaron Jones. A couple weeks ago, the only game the Packers have won since their bye week. He was extraordinary against the Dolphins.
He was the best Aaron on the team in that game.
Absolutely. And then last week, week, he got back to the regular scheduled league program in Green Bay, which is 10, 11 carries. He didn't get the ball enough. He leads the NFL in yards per carry this year. He needs the ball more. I think that's a way to get the Vikings defense off balance. I'm going to say Aaron Jones.
Nick, I'm going to go with a guy who's very, very familiar to the Packers, a guy the Packers do not like, Anthony Barr. He's the guy who knocked Rodgers out last season, broke his collarbone. Him back playing. He struggled this year. He's played at an all-pro level in previous years, not playing at that level this year, struggled in pass coverage, but getting him back. He's a big linebacker. It's hard to run on him. Let's watch him in pass coverage to see if he's healthy. I believe him to be the X factor in this football game.
All right, finally, number 4, Michigan, and number 10, Ohio State battle with a trip to the Big Ten Championship on the line. You can check it out tomorrow, 11 Eastern on Fox. CC, it's an easy one. The winner of the game will be blank.
Man, it's not an easy one here. This Michigan team is going to be tough. These games are always a lot of energy. Watch early in the game which kids are able to control their emotions. No personal fouls, because there will be some fisticuffs. In this game, the coaches at Ohio State, they let you take it to the edge of the whistle and a little bit beyond, but you got to play within yourself. This would be one of the best wins, big upsets if they can do it. Buckeyes, they break a couple screen passes, throw the quick game because Michigan's defense is going to be after them. Haskins is the star of the game, best player on the field, wins this game. Buckeyes pull off the upset, 24-22.
22? How are they getting to...
Hey, man, it's okay, you're going to see. When you watch the game, I want you to call me. You're going to be like, how did he do that? How did he pull
just
this
your
one off
standard 24-20?
So Michigan's going to have 5 field goals that get them to 15, and then a touchdown that gets them to 22.
Pick the game. Hey, I told the kids being smart is overrated. This right here. See what a smart to get you right here? You see this?
Michigan, best rushing team in college football after week 1. The best defense in college football all season. Biggest game Jim Harbaugh has coached since he coached against his brother in the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick a very atypical football score as well. Michigan wins this game 24-17. Michigan.
Can I give you a little insight? The only reason why I made the score like this, because you always like, oh, I know what he's going to say. I'm like, 24. He's like, I know what I'm going to say.